What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Half-Assed Garage. I appreciate you coming to hang out here. Today we're going to be responding to Iron Horse Garage's call out or challenge. I don't know what you want to call it. They're doing this theme where you basically tell your story about the one that got away, or one of the cars or whatever that you regret selling or getting rid of, whatever, or how you lost it, or that you didn't get. So they called me out, and I'm going to respond to it here. So, all of this stuff kind of I've had a lot of cars. Like, I can't even think of all of them. They're just so there's been a lot. Not all of them were nice, but I've had a bunch. These ones kind of all tie into like a greater overarching story about how they ended up going away or whatever. But beyond that, first and foremost would be my 73 340 CUDA all original 33,000 mile car. That one is the one that I regret getting rid of probably the most out of all the stuff I've had. That thing was ultra clean. It only needed an accelerator pump. It ran and drove great. It was all like nothing was wrong with it. Had like just a little tiny like surface rust right behind the rear tires on the quarter extensions. Like nothing was. It was nice. And funny enough, I when I was selling that thing, I couldn't get rid of it. It's a running, driving 340 CUDA all original 33,000 mile car from California. I could not sell that thing. Like, it was nuts. I can't remember. Like, I can't imagine what it'd be like now to try to sell a car like that in this market. It would have been crazy. And this was all a long time ago. So, my life has been pretty wild and crazy. There's been a lot of twists and turns and ups and downs. That's changed a lot in my life. So when I've had these cars in influx and they've left and they've came and all that, it's a weird ride for sure. So that car I had at the same time that I had a lot of other cars. My original 71 Charger that I bought when I was 15, that was a regular 318 Auto SE car, and I did the entire RT conversion on it. 440 4-speed, super stock springs, hideaway headlights, power bulge hood, like the whole shop. Like, I did PST front suspension, disc brakes, all of that, everything that I could. And at the time, you couldn't find parts for those cars anywhere, like except in a junkyard. And there's a scrapyard, or there was, pretty close to the house. I remember going over there to buy parts, and these cars are all rusty, and they were crushing them right and left. Like, there was 10 of them in there. And there was an original in there. I remember there was is totally shot, but an original sunroof, big block Charger 71 with, like I said, factory sunroof thing, and the lizard skin vinyl top. I didn't know that they put sunroofs in those cars, but I was told later that they did. Correct me if I'm wrong. But so the weird lizard skin top, some wild interior. I don't even remember. It was like crazy insert and colors. It was nuts. Anyway, that car's in there. They're just crushing them. So kind of give you an idea of what the car scene was like back then versus what it's like now. Now it's hard to even find a 71 Charger that's, people don't want a fortune for. But yeah, we had a bunch of them. I had a 71 through 4 Charger. I had probably 6 of them here. So I had that 71 Charger mine. Ended up getting rid of that 4-speed that you see in the corner on my channel that's supposed to go in this. That's the original transmission out of my Charger that I had. And then another one would be my 79 Land Cruiser FJ40. So if you've never seen one of those, it's Toyota, like a Wrangler, but way beefier and cooler. It's like super, big and beefy and awesome. And I had a 72 at the time that I had restored, and it was a really nice truck, but it was all drum brake, 3-speed, 1F engine. It was a nice truck, but, slow and, kind of whatever. The 3-speed was rough. Excuse me. And then when I lived in Alaska for 2 years, and when I was working there, I saw the 79 up on blocks, like the rear axle was out of it. And I I had that 72 at the time, so I knew what I was looking at. The 79 was really clean, had a lift kit on it, and there's all this stuff. So I spent like months trying to track down the owner of that truck, and I finally tracked him down. Long story short, it took months because it wasn't his; it was his buddy's. But we made a deal on the truck. I gave him the money, all this stuff, and I took delivery on that cruiser that I'd never driven or sat in before or anything. At 3:30 in the morning, the night before I was supposed to leave there, my contract was up to come back to Detroit. So gave him the money, gave me the title. It's 3:30 in the morning. I threw my crap in there and my luggage bags and mountaineering gear, and I just left, just drove back to Detroit. So that was it. It took 11 days and $1,100 in gas. And the top speed on those cruisers is 62. Like, it doesn't matter what you're doing with that, it's not going to go over 62. So that was it. It took a while. That was a great, great trip. So the way that all of this happened is that truck, whoever did the lift on it, I don't know what springs they put in it, but they were ultra super heavy duty, like springs. And it was maybe an 8-inch lift or 10, I don't know. It was big, had like 80 PSI truck tires on it, all this stuff. It was a rough ride. It's like the Flintstones mobile because there's just no give to the suspension. So what ended up happening is I was going too fast on a dirt road. It caught some washboards and slung that truck into a ditch and threw me out of it. Ended up landing on top of me, busted up my back, shattered my skull, all this stuff. And I was essentially laid up for 3 years. So I couldn't do anything, and I didn't know what was happening with all these cars that I had been working on. And this place was full of cars. Like, I had a 77 Westfalia, VW Westfalia bus, the camper one with the kitchen in it and the pop-up top and all that stuff that I totally reassembled from scratch. Had that custom order 74 Cutlass Supreme triple black 15-inch wire spokes, 455 posi, the whole deal. That was a custom order car. Had that 57 Bel Air, just all kinds of stuff, right? And then all the Chargers. Well, because I was so hurt and I didn't know if I was ever going to be able to wrench on anything again, I was under pressure to sell the cruiser because I got hurt in it. So I ended up getting rid of that. That's a bummer because they're worth a ton of money now, and it's a sweet truck. And there really wasn't any damage. It didn't even need an alignment after it did all that. Rolled over like 6 times. Didn't even need to be aligned. And just bent the roll bar and the front windshield frame a little bit because it was flipping. It was nuts. Yeah, so there was that. And then I ended up selling the CUDA because I didn't know if I was ever going to work on cars again. And my 71 Charger, same deal. But that 4-speed that's there, I kept from that, and that's gone. So that's kind of the story on a lot of those cars. And then curiously enough, as far as the ones that got away, there's actually, I think, one happening in progress right now. So I haven't mentioned anything on the channel about it yet because I'm not sure. Fingers crossed, one finger, toes, whatever it is, cross your fingers for me. This one might be one of those. I don't know. The deal is supposed to be kind of done, but I'm getting like all these different stories that yes, I'll get it. The guy's not sure. Back and forth. I don't know. But if I do get it, you guys are going to love it. It's going to be amazing. You're going to go bananas when you see it. So I got to get this thing done in order to make room for that if I get it. So if I don't get it, that will definitely be on the list for one of the ones that got away. So Iron Horse, thanks for including me in your little challenge. I left out a bunch of stuff, but it would be too long. I think I probably gave away too much info that's obscure. It makes sense in my head, but you probably couldn't follow my rambling, whatever. I tried to condense it as much as I could. Yeah, all those cars just ended up going away because I got hurt. As far as calling anybody out, I think you did a pretty good job calling everybody out, Iron Horse, but I don't know if you called out Chris at CNC Auto Works. I'd like to include him in on that. And yeah, tell us what it is. And if you're not included, you're still included. If you're watching this video, I suggest you go watch Iron Horses too. But if you're watching this video, tell us your story. Make a video and put it up and tell us all about it, or write it in the comments below if you've had a car that you miss, anything, whatever it is, you couldn't get it, you lost it, it got crushed, anything. You're included if you're watching the video. So share your stories about your cool old cars. And I got to get working on this thing because I'm running out of time. So thanks for watching Half-Ass Garage. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I'll catch you on the next one. I got to get this thing going, so hopefully I can drive it before the friggin' salt all over the roads and I'm getting eaten by mosquitoes. So thanks a lot. I hope you have a great one, and I'll see you in the next one.